And lesson 24, silent letters. We've already encountered two of these as connection pieces. The WR, which we know says R, and the KN, which we know says N. This is always the case when you see these two letters. For reading, it's always going to be silent. For spelling, you just have to learn those times when it's going to have the K out in front or it's going to have the W out in front. But for reading, this will always say R and this will always say N, silent letters. Some more silent letters depends on what's surrounding them or what's around them. For example, B. When B has an M in front of it, the B becomes silent, as in comb. I will comb my hair. We don't go comb, so it is comb. And when it's followed by a T, it too is silent, as in det. We don't hear the little B sound in there. So again, depends on what's coming before it or after it. Students, if they're taking it for a test drive and if they go det, they're going to go, I don't know that word. Try it the silent, det. Oh yeah, that's a nasty thing. H, when it has an O after it, quite often will be silent. So, for example, hour. What hour is it? We don't go hour. So again, that probably has a lot to do with how your mouth is shaped. So again, it becomes silent. Students, when they go to read those words, that's typically what will come out of their mouth anyway, because it's hard to say hour. But spelling, they just have to memorize it. This will, of course, be one of their homonyms. T can be silent when it has an S in front of it. And we saw this before with final stable syllable, T-L-E. So for thistle, we know there's a final stable syllable that usually says tull, but in this case it's going to go thistle. The T becomes silent in that case. Another example would be hustle. Final stable syllable, but we don't hear the T. It's not the case in all words though. Remember, here's one. He went faster and faster. It's got an S before it, but it's not faster, it's faster. Again, there's always these nasty little exceptions that sneak in on us. G, followed by an N, says N. So that will always be silent. Some examples like gnat, the nasty little gnat. Or, final position, sign. We don't hear the G, just the N. Continuing with lesson 24, we have scribal O. We know that O can say O as in open or aw as in octopus. It can also say In your dictionary, you'll sometimes see this as a pronunciation, and they call it the schwa sound. It's kind of just an sound. So that's quite common. And certain letters, again, tend to push or squash the vowels a little bit. N, V, W, M, and R. You have to be bossy letters here. So for example, if we have this word, it's not no-thing or nothing, it's nothing. So it sounds like the short U sound. Oven. Sort of that, again, U sound. Wonder. So of course, kids, when they want to spell this, they always want to put a U there. Mother. Again, the sound next to an M. And with R, something like brother. So again, just a schwa sound, scribal O, And now we have another optional activity, obscure A. We've encountered A as a long sound, as in apron, or the short sound, as in apple. But it too can sound like a short U, the schwa sound again, We'd see in a dictionary. And what happens here is in an unaccented syllable, the A becomes Let's do a vowel grab. There's no consonant, look to the vowel, grab the consonant in front of it. This should be two long sounds. It should say soda. Don't know that word. So it's in an unaccented syllable. Let's watch. It goes soda, soda. Now it becomes the sound of a U, soda, soda. Unaccented, the accent's here. Open syllable, no consonant. It's going to sound like an Let's take a look at another example. No consonant, get the vowel, grab the syllable. There's a consonant, go to the vowel, grab. Okay, we have an open syllable and an open syllable. Let's say the word agenda. Where's the accent? Agenda. Ooh. So we have an unaccented and an unaccented. Both of these are going to sound like short U. Agenda. Agenda. Now, this would be very difficult for students if they're ESL because they're not going to know what an agenda is. They won't have heard that word. But it will help English-speaking kids because they'll make sense of it. So again, your ESL students, that's going to be still problematic for them. And for some more optional activities. We know that A, letter A, can be A as in apple or A as in apron. But quite often when it's preceded by a W or QU, it becomes more like an aw sound, octopus aw. So let's look at some examples. Watch, water. Take a look at an example with QU. Quantity, quad. Again, the QU and the W makes the A sound more like a short O, aw.